Check. Stop. World of Warcraft.
Switch to gaming mode.
Speech mode off.
Hey everyone! So the other night, I announced to the guild that I was a totally blind World of Warcraft player, and naturally many people were confused, intrigued, all the things. And I did say that I would pop on Discord at some point and do a bit of a live stream and try and answer some people's questions, which I'm of course more than happy to still do. But I thought I would do this video just to I guess just to give people a bit of a look as to how I play the game and kind of provide a little bit of background on the add-on and what it can do. I mean, truth be told, I use several add-ons to help with certain things, but the main one is an add-on called SKU, or SKU, which was developed by a guy in Germany, or predominantly has been developed by a guy in Germany. And for the most part, until recently, I think all the development was really just him. I don't exactly know what the origins of the add-on were, his reasoning for doing it. I believe he came across someone who was blind, or somehow someone got in contact with him, and yeah, he was sort of inspired to make this add-on. So this has been in development for about 1.5 years now, and of course originally it was all in German, but recently we got an English translation. And of course I had to check it out because, well, World of Warcraft. So, where do I start? So, the big draw for this add-on, because people were asking, mainly, well, how do you get around? How can you tell if there are walls? Like, how do you do anything in World of Warcraft if you're blind? Again, all perfectly valid questions. And the truth is, without any of these add-ons, I don't. Not really. Unless I want to have someone lead me around pretty much everywhere. There's really no info outside this add-on that Blizzard really give us for anything like that. But yeah, so this add-on has I suppose one of the biggest things is that a lot of the areas that I visit are hand mapped, meaning that someone has walked from, one location to another to find the best possible location, or the best possible route, I should say, for blind people to navigate. And by best possible route, I mean somewhere that isn't going to result in us, let's say, potentially, not always, sometimes you just can't avoid it, that isn't going to, result in us falling down stairs or off a cliff or, off any kind of ledge, which, you're probably like, oh, okay, what's the problem with that? Like, just walk upstairs or, get back up to where you were. And that would be all well and good, but the problem is that Blizzard don't give the API access to things like elevation, so you can't tell if somebody is above somebody or something, whatever is above or below you. The add-on in question has 0 ways of knowing about that. So again, that's kind of where all these handmade routes come into play. There are cases, because not every area in the game is mapped yet. It is huge, and the mapping, as I understand it, is also mainly been done by one person, but they do have access to a couple of different databases and things like that from add-ons like Questy, etc., etc. So again, there's a lot of add-ons working in tandem, really. I have Bagnon for things like my backpack here. Oops.
Speech mode talk.
That's why.
One
yes, I mean, again, you're probably also like, well, how are you using a computer? And as you just heard, I have a thing that reads a screen to me, called the screen reader. Go figure. So,
menu closed.
I thought I would try and demonstrate. So, I've explained the mapping, all well and good. But I thought I would try and demonstrate doing a quest, and, specifically the bread and butter of how I navigate around. So, the add-on itself works on a beacon system, a waypoint and a beacon system. So think of all the waypoints in the game basically is this huge network of nodes that are all kind of linked to each other. I believe that's kind of how it works, but essentially, you know, I have an entire database of all the waypoints in the game, and
content.
whether, you know, I can get to them through handmade routes, or there's another feature called close routes, which kind of does a similar thing, but it's designed for, oh, okay, if an area isn't mapped, here are some things that we can try to do to help. And again, it's, you know, it's not perfect. None of this is, and that's really no one's fault. Well, I mean, I could probably think of a couple places to point fingers, but I'm not going to do that. Right here, all the work that's been done on this add-on is incredible, and it's all for free, which I find insane. But yeah, you know. Anyway,
World of Warcraft.
yeah. So I have a quest here
Current. All plus. Full razzle.
that I want to do.
Crown of the Earth plus. Crown of the Earth plus.
And I think it'll be this one, just because this is probably a good one to demonstrate how things work. I'll try and demonstrate some combat and stuff as I go along. I'll try and explain things. I mean, I'm not going to cover everything. There's a lot to this, and, you know, again, I'm more than happy to do Discord streams, and, you know, you can ask me questions. I'm going to post this video to the Discord when I can get on there. That's one thing at the moment. I can't access things like the social tab properly. I can kind of, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. So...
Level 11 : links : level.
Okay, so I want to know what this quest is, right? So I can have it read to me like this.
Crown of the Earth plus. Crown of the Earth. Level 11. Progress. Fill amethyst tile : 0/1. Rewards 1. No gold 2. 0 fixed items 3. 0 items to choose from. Goals. Fill the amethyst tile and bring it back to Caritha's Moonridge $1. Quest description : all was not well with Toldrassil. However, Stagons carefully made plans for the new world 3 born out as he had hoped, but there was one small problem, a problem to which many of the troubles on Toldrassil may be attributed. However, I will not get into that yet. You must visit the last moonwell to the northwest in the Oracle Glade. Under the boughs of the Oracle tree lies the first and most powerful of our wells. Retrieve a vial of its water and return to me.
Okay, I hope you all kind of understood that. Here, I'll try and break it up a little bit.
Level 11. Progress. Fill amethyst tile : 0/1. Rewards.
I mean,
1. No gold : links : gold. 2. 0 fixed items : links : items. 3. 0 items to choose from : links : items.
yeah, I mean, you get the idea. I mean, you see it right in front of you, right? So, anyway.
Crown of the Kenspo plus. Crown of the free quest. Quest start plus. Menu closed. 6 meter auto plus.
The item that, or the
44
thing
meter
that I'm
quest.
looking for, I already know what I'm looking for, so I can just...
WEL.
I have a little, you know, my list of waypoints here that I was talking about.
1036 meter well 2 star refill. 1451 meter well 3 pools of our list.
So,
1867 meter well quest target shadow blend.
the one that I want
2690 meter well
is...
4 the Oracle Glade. Filter removed. Following meta route started. Menu closed.
Okay, so, as you can hear, there is a beacon telling me to go straight ahead. Now again, as I'm walking along, you may be like, oh dude, there's a much quicker way to get here. Look, I'm sure in some cases there are, but again, you know, unfortunately, sometimes the routes, you know, the way they're designed kind of make you backtrack, or, you know, kind of go around long ways, again, just to try and avoid different hassles and things like that. So again, if I turn to the right here, you can probably hear it going behind you. And it all kind of works on a clock system. So if I do
12.6 meter.
So it's a 12.6 meter, which means, well, 12 o'clock being straight ahead. So I'm going to just start walking. Well, actually, first of all, I'm going to quickly scan around me to see if there are any targets. And the way I do that is by pushing tab and turning around like this. Ooh, yeah, so there are a bunch of things, right?
Level 6.
You may not be able to make out everything it says, but I'm just going to walk forward for a second.
25, 20.
Yeah, ooh, okay.
25.
So,
30.
I don't know if you can hear that, but it tells me how many yards or meters,
35.
depending on what kind of person you are away from your target. So, you know, hopefully that answers that question. Like, oh, how do you know, where you are? You know, there are definitely challenges. I'm looking at getting, I'm building for Beastmaster
35.
Hunter, because, well, it's TBC, and why not? But yes, I cannot, I mean, as you can see, I can't necessarily be like, oh, okay, that's on my right. I can't just look right now and tell that. So again, I have to kind of turn around like this, potentially slowly, and pushing tab, all that. But anyway, we will see how we go. I'm probably just going to be a little bit careless. So yeah, I'll shut up for a second, and
Still 55.
So that just adds still 55. So that means 55 beacons until my target. These are all kind of broken up into little segments, I guess, so you can...
Pet content.
Oh, and that other voice is just telling me that my pet is content, in fact. You know what, I'm not even going to worry about it. These are so low level. I don't need the extra damage. But...
Still 54.
see again, ding when I get to it. And this is more or less how I navigate.
Still 53. Combat start.
Oops. Ah, see? There we go.
Timber level 6.
I'm just going to kill this.
40. 30. 20.
10, 8, 5,
Combat in.
Cool. Whatever, it's dead.
Timber
25.
level 5.
Alright, so
30.
I've got this thing here,
35,
so I can just do that.
35, 30,
80.
25,
60.
I
20,
should have...
15,
40.
10,
whatever.
8, 5,
Kill it.
Combat in.
Anyway,
Pet content. Timber
40,
level
35,
6.
30,
I'm not going to kill all these, but I'm just, you know, because I
35,
can.
Ability start.
30,
70. 60.
Cool.
25,
40. 20.
20,
Combat in.
So again, you may not be able to make out every bit of speech, but I also have things telling me the percentage. So unfortunately, at the moment, I can't tell my damage output. But I do have things that tell me, based on percentages, what the health of the target is. So there's that. Ah, okay, yeah, perfect. So people were asking about things like walls. Now, I don't know what this is. You can obviously see what it is, but I don't know what it is that's in front of me. So this is it makes certain kinds of beeps, basically based on how stuck I might be. So if, you know, there's a wall or something in front of me, or if, you know, it's something I can jump over, which, again, I don't know that right away. So this is where trial and error comes in. Can I jump? No, I cannot. So let's try and go to the right of this a little. And that seems to have worked, so let's kind of
Still 52.
do that. Cool.
Still 51. Combat start. Timber
Fine.
level 5. 90. 80. 60. 50.
8, 5,
20.
Whatever. Don't even know him.
Combat in.
Alright.
Timber
40.
level 5.
35,
Alright, you're going to be in the way. Let's just kill you.
35,
90. Combat start. 70. 50. 30. 10. Still 50. Pet content.
And you're probably like,
Level
why,
35,
why are you jerking around like that? And that's just because the beacons...
40,
what's going on here?
35,
And that's just because the beacons are kind of leading me around an interesting path.
90.
Let's see here.
70. 50. 30.
30,
Timber
5.
level 5. Combat in.
Let me see. Activate that. There we go.
Still
So, for those wondering as well, I do have things like, well, a version of weak auras. It's not weak auras, so
Timber
you
level
don't
5.
do
35,
have. Oh, there we go. I do have things like, you know, auras.
40, 35,
For, you know, for
Combat
anyone who's
start.
wondering that. So for things like
50.
dungeon raids. What
30.
am I doing? I can't play and talk.
Combat in.
So yeah, I do have access to certain
Still
things
48.
like that.
Pet content. Timber
It's
level 5.
its own custom version
25.
of weak auras.
Combat start.
30,
70. 50. 30.
25,
Sorry if this is like super frustrating. You're probably just like,
Combat
dude,
in.
you can walk around it. Maybe I can, but I'm just gonna kill it.
Timber
45.
level 5.
35,
Speed things up a bit.
Combat start. 80.
30,
70.
25,
40. 30.
20,
0.
15,
Combat in.
Now, one thing I will point out is that I cannot
Still 47.
solo things like dungeons, which, I mean, I guess they're not inherently designed for that anyway. But basically just due to the limited amount of
46.
information the add-on can give,
Timberland
25.
level 5.
there's no real way I can do dungeons by
25.
myself. So that is where I
30. 35.
would go along in a group
Pet content.
and kind of explain to people a little bit like,
Sorry.
hey, I'm blind. I
70,
just need to
50,
follow you in those
30.
40,
instances.
10.
25.
Combat end.
And, you know, based on different bosses and their behavior, there's things that I might need to coordinate, especially if it's the kind of boss that throws you around a lot.
Timberland
30.
level 6.
25. 30.
Combat start. 70,
20.
60, 40,
15.
30, 10.
10. 8. 5.
Combat end.
See, there are certain things I'd like to know what that sound is.
1 dash left bracket star isolate right bracket has come online. Dash 04 colon 44.
Yeah, so I can review things like chat.
2 dash your skill and adders has increased to 61. Dash 3 dash Olivia has gone offline. Dash 4 dash left bracket fuck right bracket has come online. Dash 5 dash left bracket remind right bracket has come online. 6 dash remind has gone offline. Dash 7 dash Utopian has gone offline. Dash 8 dash left bracket Olivia right bracket has come online. 9 dash Fickly has gone offline. 10 dash star isolate has gone offline. Dash 11 dash left
These
bracket right
names.
bracket has come online. Dash
I'll tell
0
ya.
12 dash Winley has gone offline. Dash
I love you guys. So, yeah. I'm also
Still
able to,
45.
again, review guild chat
Swimming.
like that. I mean, that's how this conversation came up in the first place. So
Still
again,
84.
I have an add-on that tells me, an
Timberland
add-on
level
called
7.
GTFO, which tells me things like swimming, whether I'm indoors or outdoors,
Combat start.
whether I have fallen
90, 80,
25.
downstairs or something, or,
50,
you know,
30, 10.
occasionally off a cliff,
Combat.
all the things. Now, typically I would probably, if I was in an area that I knew, I would probably just scan like this. So again, just turning around, pressing tab, which probably looks weird as hell, and I'm sure that I looked very drunk doing this.
Still 43.
Swimming.
Again, we're just going to
Diving.
plow on. Cool, so I'm
Content.
diving. And I have
Timberland
a
Ripper level 8.
Rest 90 land.
I have a thing that tells me
45.
Away.
oops.
40.
Rest 80.
35.
Rest 70.
I have a thing that tells me again my breath, which you probably
Combat
heard.
start. 90, 70,
25.
50,
20.
40,
15.
30,
10. 8.
10.
5.
Combat end.
Left
I'm
bracket.
able to, you know what, let me get out of this first.
Still 42.
Yeah, cool. So I'm able to tell things like my health
1 Darnell late Alamus 5269 fatal colon links colon late Alamus.
and where I
Looting
am.
colon general. Health colon 100% left parent 250 right parent colon links colon. Mana colon 100% left parent 391 right parent. Pet health colon 100% left parent 330 right parent colon links colon. Pet item status colon 11 OK colon links colon item.
Yeah, so again, I'm able to tell, if things are yellow, if things are red.
Money colon 9 gold 71 silver 56 copper colon links colon copper silver gold.
Yeah, I'm poor. I haven't hit up the auction house yet.
Empty bag slots colon 8 colon links colon bag. Time colon 18 colon 48.
Cool, so
Mail colon none.
again,
Hearthstone colon ready dollar colon links colon dollar. XP colon 11% left parent 1287 of 11,000 for 14 right parent.
I can read a lot of things.
Rest
I'm
bonus
able
colon
to tell.
894 colon links colon rest. Buffs colon links colon buffs. Aspect of the hawk colon links colon aspect of the hawk.
Nice.
Devils. None. Skills colon. Beast mastery left parent 1/1 right parent colon links colon beast. Marksmanship left parent 1/1 right parent colon. Survival left parent 1/. Bows left parent 64/65 right. Daggers left parent 61/65 right. Defense left parent 60/65. Unarmed left parent 44. Cloth left parent. Letter left parent. Language colon.
Yeah, you get the
language
idea.
colon. Reputation
So
colon.
reads-
Darnassus honored left parent 495/12,000 right parent colon links colon. Exoder friendly left parent 87 American exile friendly left parent. Ironforge friendly left parent. Stormwind friendly left parent. Bill colon. Darnell hunter 13 Voldrassel colon links colon. Voldrassel hunter left. Urchi hunter 16 blood missile colon links colon. Blood missile hunter.
Yeah, so again, I can tell things like that. I'm able to tell different stats of my pets,
Timberland Ripper level 8.
45.
etc., etc.
45.
Left.
Whatever. Just
Pet
kill it.
content. Combat
40.
start.
Get it dead.
35.
80, 60, 40,
30.
20.
25. 20.
Combat end.
Alright, so here's another... Oh, no. Yeah, here's another Walter hump.
Left bracket build right bracket left bracket Jeremy right bracket colon. British Short Canvas is a special lot at shares a lot.
Yeah, see, there we go.
Still 41.
See, again, just trial and error. I can jump over that. But again, there's nothing else that tells me.
Worker left combat start. 90.
Yeah, see, again, I'm just not looking.
50, 20. Combat end.
And I probably need to update some gear. You know, I can read all that.
Web worker, level
35.
6.
Left bracket, build right bracket, left bracket, delete, right bracket, colon. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't access
Star
everything
90. 17.
yet.
Content.
You know, it's all a work in
25.
progress.
40.
I think I've explained most of that.
15.
So,
Left bracket, build right bracket, left bracket, willow green, right bracket, colon. And the booty bay.
oh, Booty Bay. Yes.
Still 40.
So this, all this means is that it's just a slightly wider beacon. So I have a little more wiggle room.
Web
35.
telecross.
Nothing
25.
crazy.
20.
Don't even know what that is, but it's gonna die.
90 star. 60.
No.
50.
15.
30. 10.
10. 50.
Combat end.
Nice.
Still 39.
Let's see.
Elena.
Yeah, and again, it tells me where I am.
Tell Russell.
So it's told Russell.
Still 38. Still 37. Pet content. Still 36. Still 35.
Sorry, this is not the most exciting thing, probably.
34.
I don't know how much goes on visually here. I'm sure it honestly looks pretty nice.
33.
I have been
Sorry.
told. Oh,
Level
see again. Just not paying attention to what's around.
30. 17. 16. 50. 30. Combat end.
Let's see.
Still 32. Web
35.
thing. Level 7.
25.
Pet content. Combat star. 80. 70. 50.
15. 10. 8.
40.
5.
20. Combat end. Still 31. Web
45.
level 8.
40. 35. 30.
Combat star.
25. 20.
80.
15.
7. 60.
10.
50.
5.
40. 30. 10. Combat end.
Alright.
Still 30. Still 29. Still 28. Unhappy.
Unhappy. Alright.
Back to back. Back one.
Fine.
Menu
Just
close.
feed this.
Back to back. Back one. 16 empty. 14 long jaw mud snapper 3 plus 13. Left click 14 long jaw mud snapper 3 plus. Menu closed.
Pet content. Still 27. Still 26. Still 25. Happy. Still 24. Combat start.
Blank.
I'm just gonna try
Still 23.
and run away.
8. 10.
80.
15. 20.
17.
25.
Still
30.
22.
35. 40.
40. 30.
Whatever.
Level
45.
1. Level 7. Night Save Stalker.
Yeah, see,
Level
there we go. Fine, just kill it.
80. 70. 40. 40. Combat end.
Cool. So,
Level
you know,
1.
again, I
Level
have
7.
ways to tell
30.
as well, based on yeah,
Combat
if people put different symbols and stuff over
80.
mobs and stuff, I
60.
guess that's a
55.
big thing,
30.
you know, like the skull or whatever, you know, over different targets in
Combat
dungeons and
end.
stuff to kind of tell people, alright, here's what we're doing. So yeah, as far as dungeons go, I can do
21.
most things. I don't know how
Level
tank
25.
DPS
Level
would
7.
go,
45.
for reasons that you probably
40.
already figured out.
35.
I can try and pull the right mobs,
Combat
but
start.
yeah, I don't imagine
80.
the typical group probably wants
70.
me as their
50. 40.
tank.
25.
30.
20.
10.
15.
Things like
Combat.
range DPS, I mean, I should be able to do, you know, just depends. I may have to hang out with the healer or, you know, someone else who's
Knight
ranged.
Stalker
35.
level 8.
30.
Things like that. It's a bit of
25.
trial and error.
20.
Left bracket build right bracket left bracket willow green right bracket colon O.04. You can get LVL 56 enslaved fans.
60. 50.
10.
40.
8.
20.
5.
And yep,
Still 20.
I need to upgrade some of my gear.
At content.
Working on it slowly.
Knight
35,
Stalker
30.
level 7. Combat 90 start.
25.
80. 70.
20.
60.
15.
40.
10. 8.
Combat end. Tell Drossel. Still 19.
19 more beacons to go.
Still 18. Knight
30,
Stalker. Still 17. Combat start. 80.
25. 20.
70. 60.
15. 10. 8.
50. 40.
5.
30. 10. I can Knight Stalker level
8. 10.
90.
15. 10. 8. 5.
70. 60. Knight Stalker level 7.
No, yeah, see,
Knight
15.
Stalker level 7. 30. 10. Combat end.
Land.
60.
Passive switch
45.
switcher level 7.
40. 35. 30.
cool,
Still
that's
16.
passive. I don't
25.
need to worry about it.
20. 15. 10. 8. 5.
Again, just reading
10.
out how
15.
close I am
15.
to it.
25. 30. 35. 40. 45. 60.
Still 14. Still 13. Still 12. Still 11 at content. Still 10. Still 9.
Now again, if I do end up in a situation where I'm stuck, I can
Combat start.
Land.
Knight Stalker 9.
10. 15.
run right into that.
20.
I imagine you're just looking at this being like, dude, what are you doing?
25.
Oops.
50.
20.
40.
15.
30. 20.
10. 8.
10.
5.
Combat end.
Alrighty. Yeah, so in situations where I might be stuck, if something
Still 7.
is on a high level, you know, a different level to me, a different plane to me, I guess, if you will,
At
whatever,
content.
it's,
Still
yeah,
6.
I do have certain things, like certain waypoints I can try and go to get myself back on target, depending on
Still
the
5.
area, the difficulty of the area, and yeah, just how stuck I am. You know, that can take some time. But you know, sometimes, sometimes I may ask for help. Especially with things like escort quests at the
That
moment,
works
there's really
right.
no way we can do that.
Still 3.
Again, as I'm walking along, I'm just kind of lazily pressing tab every so often in case I run into something I can target.
Still 2.
So we're almost here.
Still 1.
Alrighty, so we should be here. So theoretically,
Back and back.
I can
Back 1
just
plus.
go
1
to
refreshing. 2 top. 3 heartstone. 4 amethyst tile plus. Left. Right. 4 amethyst tile plus.
Yes.
Land. 4 amethyst tile plus.
nice. Okay, so yeah, those things you heard. One was, well, the first one was
Menu closed.
the sonic sound basically. The was just you've completed an objective in your quest, and the second one was you've completed the quest. So
Current quest plus. All plus. Full razzle plus. Potential plus. Left parent completed. Right parent crown of the earth plus. Quest start. Quest target. Quest end plus. Carithra's moon. Route plus. 1932 meter Carithra's moon. Following menu. Route menu closed.
Still 46.
alrighty, now we gotta walk all the way back
Still 45. Far.
to you.
Pet content. Still 44.
So again, I realize this is kind of a quick and dirty demo, and I feel like I missed a lot of stuff when explaining, but I was trying to keep this
43.
kind of short-ish, so you know, it was at least somewhat engaging.
Teledrossel.
I mean, maybe me just walking around drunkenly like this is
Still 82.
just fun to watch. You're welcome, if it is. Let's see.
Still 41. Still 40. Still 39. Still 38. Pet content. Passive
25.
Stridge Hunter level.
55.
Fame level
20.
7. Passive
60.
Stridge Hunter level 8.
45.
Passive
5.
Stridge Hunter level 9. Passive
60.
Stridge Hunter
45.
level 8. Passive
5.
Stridge Hunter level
Oh,
9.
that's something
10,
else there.
15,
Oh,
20,
never mind.
25, 30, 35, 40, 8,
Still
5,
37. Passive Stridge Hunter level 8.
8, 10, 15, 20,
Still 36.
25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 60,
Still 35.
So
Passive
25,
Stridge Creature
20.
level 8.
15, 10, 8,
again, all I have to go on as
8,
far as targeting
10,
goes
15.
is that there's
Still
something
34.
20,
ahead of me, so then I just
25,
have to kind of
30,
gauge based
35,
on where it
40,
might be,
45,
and
60.
you know, the
Still
distances.
33.
If I'm heading closer to something, then I'm obviously heading
Still
closer to
32.
something. But I cannot tell just from doing this
Passive Stridge
necessarily if it's behind
20,
me
15, 10, 8,
or
5,
to the side. So again, I have to kind of, you know, do the
8,
stop and turn
10,
around and
15,
scan
20, 25,
Still
thing
31. Pet content.
35,
every so often.
40, 45, 60,
Passive
60,
Stridge
45.
Creature
Rat
level 8.
someone.
Still 30.
40,
Okay. Oops.
35, 40,
Still
45,
29.
60,
Still 28. Still 27. Still 26.
I love areas like this. You know, I can generally adjust the beacon slightly
Still 25.
without having to stop and do, you know, like a 180
Still 24.
or anything like that. I can just kind of keep coasting along.
Still 23. Pet
Not a
content.
care in the world.
Still 22. Still 21. Still 20. Still 19. Still 18.
For the goddess. For the great mother.
Still 17. Still 16. Still 15. Pet content. Still 14. Still 13. Still 12. Still 11. Still 10. Still 9 near. Still 8 far. Still 7. Still 6.
Resting.
Still 5. Still 4. Still 3. Pet. Still 2.
Alright, so here's another wall. Let me see if I can... Well, something. I just call it a wall, I mean, obviously it's... you see what it is.
Still 1.
Alrighty.
Teleport Sentinel level 65. Caribbean Moon Rage level 10.
Peace be with
Quest plus. Progress plus. Text colon, Crown of the Earth. Text colon, along with the Druids, the Oracle Tree, and period. Blank. Along with the Druids, the Oracle Tree, and the Archdruid have been carefully monitoring the growth of Tolrassel, but though we have a new home, our immortal lives have not been restored. Colon, links, colon, Tolrassel, Archdruid, Immortal Druids, Oracle. Along with the Druids, the Oracle Tree, and the Archdruid. Text colon, required items, colon. Filled amethyst, file 1. Continue plus. Left click. Continue plus. Quest end plus. Quest. Text colon, Crown of the Earth. Text colon, to be in the presence of the Oracle Tree, period. Blank. Text colon, to be in the presence of the Oracle Tree, period. To be in the presence of the Oracle Tree, period. It is almost to feel wisdom take form. Let me continue the telling, period. With Tolrassel, the Archdruid approached the dragons for their blessings as the dragons had placed upon Mordrassel in ancient times. But Nisnormu, Lord of Time, refused to give his blessing, chiding the Druid for his arrogance. In agreement with Nisnormu, Alexstrasza also refused Staghelm, and without her blessing, Tolrassel's growth has been flawed and unpredictable, period. Complete plus.
Oh dear, so yeah, kind of a shit time for the Druids.
Left click. Complete plus. Details plus.
Alrighty.
Text colon, Crown of the Earth. Text colon, without the blessings of Alexstrasza, period.
Oh.
Text colon, without the blessings of Alexstrasza, period. Without the blessings of Alexstrasza, the Lifefinder, and Nisnormu, the timeless Tolrassel's growth has not been without flaw. Strange beasts have been recorded arising from the very ground of the tree, and crazed furbolgs attack passing travelers. I can only hope that the solution the Archdruid is looking for will be found quickly. I will pour all the files you brought into this vessel for you to deliver to Darnassus. Bring it to Fandral Staghelm, you will find them in the Druid Grove. Text colon, quest objectives. Text colon, bring the filled vessel to Archdruid Fandral, period. Bring the filled vessel to Archdruid Fandral Staghelm and Darnassus. Colon, links, colon, Archdruid Fandral. Rewards plus. Text colon, you will be able to choose one of these, period.
What do I get from this?
Ashwood 01, blank. Finds when picked up.
I want a new bow.
Range colon, links, colon, brain. Bow colon, links, colon. 917 damage, colon, links, colon, damage.
Content.
Oh damn, dude, that's a huge upgrade.
Speed 2.10, colon, links, colon, speed. Left parent 6.2 damage per second, right parent, colon, links, colon, damage per second.
Nice.
Left parent 6.2 damage per... Thicket hammer 1, blank. Finds when picked up. 2 dash hand. Mace, colon, links, colon, mace.
Obviously, I don't
1624 damage, colon, links, colon, damage.
really...
Speed 3.10, colon, links, colon, speed. Left parent 6.5 damage per second, right parent, colon, links, colon, damage per second. Left parent 6.5 damage per second, right. Thicket hammer 1. Ashwood 01. Rewards plus, accept plus. Left click, accept plus. Menu closed.
Yeah, so that is, I guess, a very brief demonstration of just how I do certain things. I'm sorry if it was all over the place. I've never really tried to explain this add-on and play it at the same time. There's a lot to it. Of course, you're always more than welcome to ask me questions. I'm happy to do Discord streams, you know, more interactive things. But yeah, just thought I'd put it out there for anyone that was interested.
Pet content.
Have a good day.
Ops 20 to start. Stop recording, check, checked.